Hello everyone. In this video, we will study the Western Ghats as biodiversity hotspot. The map of hotspots overlaps extraordinarily well with the map of the natural places that most people benefit. That's because hotspots are among the richest and most important ecosystems in the world, and they are home to many vulnerable populations who are directly dependent on nature to survive. By one estimate, despite comprising 2.4% of Earth's land surface, forests, wetlands, and other ecosystems in hotspots account for 35% of the ecosystem services that vulnerable human populations depend on. The Western Ghats are one of the world's biodiversity hotspots with over 5,000 flowering plants, 139 mammals, 508 birds, and 179 amphibian species. At least 325 globally threatened species occur here. The range covers 60,000 kilometers square and forms the catchment area for a complex of river systems that drain almost 40% of India. Where the Western Ghats are located: states Gujarat, Karnataka, Goa, Maharashtra, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu region, South region. In the picture, you can see the Western Ghats seen from Tamil Nadu. This is the topography of the Western Ghats. You can see the location of the Western Ghats. The Western Ghats extend from the Satpura range in the north, stretching from Gujarat to Tamil Nadu. It traverses south through the states of Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka, and Kerala. The Western Ghats, also known as Sahyadri, are a mountain range that covers an area of 140,000 square kilometers in a stretch of 1,600 kilometers parallel to the western coast of the Indian peninsula, traversing the states of Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Goa, Maharashtra, and Gujarat. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and is one of the 8 hotspots of biological diversity in the world. It is sometimes called the Great Escarpment of India. It contains a large proportion of the country's flora and fauna, many of which are only found in India and nowhere else in the world. According to UNESCO, the Western Ghats are older than the Himalayas. They influence Indian monsoon weather patterns by intercepting the rain-laden monsoon winds that sweep in from the southwest during the later summer. The range runs north to south along the western edge of the Deccan Plateau and separates the plateau from a narrow coastal plain called Konkan along the Arabian Sea. The Western Ghats lie roughly parallel to the west coast of India. You can see in the picture. The area is one of the world's 10 hottest biodiversity hotspots and has over 7,402 species of flowering plants, 1,814 species of non-flowering plants, 139 mammal species, 508 bird species, 179 amphibian species, 6,000 insect species, and 290 freshwater fish species. It is likely that many undiscovered species live in the Western Ghats. At least 325 globally threatened species occur in the Western Ghats. The Western Ghats are one of the world's biodiversity hotspots with over 5,000 flowering plants, 139 mammals, 508 birds, 179 amphibian species. You can just note down the points. The forests in the southwestern Ghats are even richer, hosting the country's largest population of Asian elephants as well as Bengal tigers, lion-tailed macaques, sloth bears, Nilgiri, Nilgiri hunts, and much more. Now we will see what are the threats to the biodiversity hotspots. The Western Ghats were once covered in dense forests. Today, a large part of the range has been logged or converted to agricultural land for tea, coffee, rubber, and oil palm, or cleared for livestock grazing, reservoirs, and roads. The growth of populations around protected areas and other forests has also led to habitat destruction, increased fragmentation, wildlife poaching, and human wildlife conflict. The biodiversity hotspots around the world are facing severe threats from several anthropogenic activities like deforestation, forest fires, climate change, and poaching. Large swathes of forests have also been cleared for the expansion of agriculture, exploitation of natural resources, construction of roads, railways, dams, and housing for the burgeoning human population. This loss of large forest areas results in the alteration of the natural landscape, habitat loss, and extreme fragmentation of wildlife habitats, eventually leading to the rapid decline in the number of endemic species harbored in the hotspot region. Some of the invasive floral and faunal species that have been introduced due to human activities in different habitats subsequently eliminate the native species, hereby thereby harming the ecosystem. The effects of anthropogenic climate change, urban tourism, and other recreational activities also put tremendous pressure on these fragile ecosystems. Now, let us see what are the initiatives have been taken for the conservation of hotspots. Only a small percentage of the total land area within biodiversity hotspots is now protected. Several international organizations are working in many ways to conserve biodiversity hotspots. Let us see the initiatives by different organizations. Critical Ecosystem Partnership Fund is a global program that provides funding and technical assistance to non governmental organizations and participation to protect the Earth's richest regions of plant and animal diversity, including biodiversity hotspots, high biodiversity wildnesses areas, and important marine regions. Next one is the Worldwide Fund for Nature has derived a system called the Global 200 ecoregions, the aim of which is to select priority ecoregions for conservation within each of 14 terrestrial, 3 freshwater, and 4 marine habitat types. They are chosen for their species richness, endemism, taxonomic uniqueness, unusual ecological or evolutionary phenomena, and global rarity. All biodiversity hotspots contain at least one global 200 ecoregion. Next one is the BirdLife International has identified 218 endemic bird areas, each of which hold two or more bird species found nowhere else. BirdLife International has identified more than 11,000 important bird areas all over the world. Plant Life International coordinates several the world aiming to identify important plant areas. The Alliance for Zero Extinction is an initiative of many scientific organizations and conservation groups who cooperate to focus on the most threatened endemic species of the world. They have identified 595 sites, including many bird life's important bird areas. The National Geographic Society has prepared a world map of the hotspots and ArcView shapefile and metadata for the biodiversity hotspots, including details of the individual endangered fauna in each hotspot, which is available from Conservation International. By the influence of that, the central government of India arrived a new authority named Compensatory Afforestation Fund Management and Planning Authority to control the destruction of forests and biological spots in India. Thank you.